Hello everybody! How you all doing out there? I hope this video is finding you well. Welcome back to Get Right On In. My name is Andrew, for those of you who do not know, and today I am just going to go over some call to action tips for you. This is part of an ongoing series on blogging tips that I've got going on this channel, so be sure to check out that playlist to see if any of those other topics may be beneficial for you. And apart from all of that, I'm not going to waste too much time here on the introductions. Let's just get right on in. Okay, so let's be honest. If you're a content creator, you want people to comment on your work. If you're selling something, you want people to buy what you're selling. Everything that you are putting out there has some sort of intent. But what is one of the best ways to drive that engagement? The call to action, of course. So what is the call to action? Simply put, the call to action is what you would put at the end of your post to encourage that engagement. Depending on the topic, it can be in the form of a question, or it can be used as a way to get you to click on something else. For example, if you've got, say, a food blog and you have a post about maybe the best desserts in town or something, you could end the post by asking if anyone had been to any of these places, if it was one of their favorites as well, or if there was anything that you might have missed out on that they would call a favorite of their own, things like that. If you're selling a product or something, you can have some sort of link about see what other people are saying about this that would land on a testimonials page that would just further what you're saying. You get the idea. This is an effective tool for increasing engagement because it prompts the reader to respond to something. If the goal is a comment, asking a question is one of the easiest ways to receive that comment. Instead of the reader having to go through the post and thinking up their own response, simply answering the question that you have posed for them is one of the easiest ways to get them to talk. It is also a good place to round up everything that you have discussed in the post and use it as the place to have a send-off. As I said, you can use this for other things besides just getting people to comment on your stuff. So say you're having a giveaway or you have something on sale, the call to action would drive people toward that sale or toward that giveaway or toward that product or whatever, what have you. Those types of calls to action fit more into the act now or hurry while supplies last kind of categories. It plays on the consumer's need for the instant gratification while offering something them valuable in return. And I get it that marketing techniques can sometimes sound a little bit scandalous, but are you surprised? This is also why it is important to be personable as well when you are trying to sell a product. It is always important to think more about the reader or the consumer or the viewer or whoever else you have in mind before you think of yourself. It isn't as much about your advice or your product or your anything as much as it is about how that advice or product or anything will help somebody else. By determining what others can get out of your services, you simply present yourself as a more personable human being and not just a salesperson after their money. And honestly, you should be more of a person than just a salesperson trying to get money in the first place. Crafting up good calls of action is one of the best ways to increase engagement and sales, but it's also very important to listen to what your readers and your consumers actually want. Simply bombarding them or inundating them with things that they might not necessarily actually get any value out of won't actually help you with the relationship that you're trying to build with them. I know this is a pretty short and sweet video here today, but the call to action is one of the more simple and one of the most effective ways in at least driving forward engagement. So I wanted to spend a little time having this as the highlight topic just for those of you who might not know how to end your post. So how do you approach your calls to action? Are there any tips today that I missed that you would love to share with me? Anything else in this blogging world that you would like for me to cover that I may not have covered already? I have a couple of other videos on the topic coming out soon, but I am happy to discuss anything that people would like to know in more detail, so please let me know down in those comments. And just in case you're wondering, yes, that was a call to action. If you liked today's video, I would love it if you would give it a little thumbs up. I would also love it if you would consider pressing on that little subscribe button so you can join me on Tuesdays and Thursdays and sometimes Sundays for bookish and writerly and entertainment-y-esque content. And yes, that was another call to action. I would love to hear some of your calls to action as well, just for fun, so leave me some comments. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have a day just as beautiful as you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!